Now, of course, this wouldn't ever happen, because obviously there's more money to be made by releasing a new Mario Kart game, because you can charge them $60 as opposed to DLC, which would be more like $20. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but I sure would love to see it. I think that'd be awesome. That was just a throwaway comment I made when recording the Mario Kart 64 LP. I didn't really think much of it. I mean, I stood by it. I absolutely believed it, in that I wanted DLC for Mario Kart 8 rather than a new full-fledged Mario Kart 9. I just didn't think I thought it was gonna be a thing that I mentioned in an LP, like, wouldn't that be cool if that happened, and then I never think about it again. Lo and behold, less than a month later, in fact, it might even sooner than that, the Direct happened where they dropped the bombshell that we were getting 48 new courses. And honestly, of all of the last almost 10 years, that's actually scary to think about. In January, it'll be 10 years since I first made my channel. In the almost decade that I've been on YouTube, that is one of my most memorable stream moments, was when I was watching that Direct live with everybody in chat, seeing them announce the DLC, and everyone going ballistic. Especially specifically at the part where they said 48 new tracks. And it's been one hell of a roller coaster since the day it was announced, to the day Wave 1 released, and then all the way up to now, with the final DLC wave for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is here, Wave 6. I'm treating this like it's the finale, because at the moment there are no plans for any more there are no announced plans, I should say, for any more DLC for this game. Not to say that there won't be, because it's obviously been making Nintendo a whole lot of money. It's been pretty positively received, especially in later waves when they've started to take a bit more care with the graphical fidelity of the courses. So they could do more. It's also likely that when the new console inevitably comes out, they'll just release another Mario Kart game, and then we'll go into a new era, but I'd say it's equally likely we could get more DLC for this, or we could get a whole new game. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, it is at least the finale of this Booster Pass course. And yeah, it's surreal to think about how much this game has changed. Since the port came out in 2017, when it was originally sort of regarded as just being a sort of cheap cash grab port for the Switch, with, new things added, namely the new battle mode, because the original battle mode was garbage. But generally speaking, the sentiment was that it wasn't really, not much of substance had been added to it beyond that point. And then now you look here in the future, and it's just gone, it's completely blown up and gone off the rails. And then especially if you compare back to the original Mario Kart 8 released for the Wii U, which I was there for pretty much maybe not day one, but close to day one was when I first got the Wii U, because I wanted to get the Wii U specifically for Mario Kart 8, so I could play it. And thinking of how much the game has evolved since then to now, it's unbelievable. But I am very happy that Nintendo didn't just give up and roll over when it first came out. They kept building on it and evolving on it, and that's brought us to where we are today with I think we're at 96 total courses for this game, which is awesome. And also we have a music player now, so I'll never use this because if I wanted to listen to the music for the game, I'd probably just look it up on YouTube and play it that way. But this doesn't hurt anyone. I'm glad it's there for those who wanted it, so that's cool. Music player's here. Anyway, enough talking. Let's go. Let's dive into it. Let's dive into our final wave for the Booster Course Pass. 200cc as always. I know most people prefer to start out on 150cc or lower to really take time to explore the tracks, but I am perfectly capable of exploring the tracks and appreciating them to their fullest extent, while also going as fast as I possibly can, because the only way I can get enjoyment out of this game nowadays is by going at maximum speed, because the rest of this just feels way too slow to me. I played on 200cc for too long. Anyway, let's do it. 200cc. Aha. Oh. Okay, that makes more sense. So this is what I was wondering. Well, they announced that there were 4 new characters coming to this game, those being Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. I was like, you don't have room on your roster for that, because there were only 2 slots left over right here. There were 2 question marks here, so I assume there are only going to be 2 new characters. And then when they announced 4, I'm like, okay, but how though? My assumption was that they were going to make Peachette a palette swap for something. Either Peach or so, I don't know. I don't know where Peachette comes from and where that form comes from. But whatever alternate version it is, I assume that she would have been a palette swap of someone else. And that would have left us with 3. Then we would have only needed a palette swap 1 more out. And at that point, they could have palette swamped Donkey and Funky. It would have been weird, but they didn't have enough room for it, or something like that. I assumed they were gonna palette swap something, but they didn't. What they did instead, which makes much more sense, is to just combine the Animal Crossing villagers into the same category, and also the Inklings into the same category. Which you probably already should have done this from the beginning. It's kind of weird that you didn't, honestly. It's just like, do we really need 2 slots dedicated to 2 different villagers whose only distinction is just the gender? I'm pretty sure. Was that really necessary? I don't think we needed that. So I'm glad that this is what they went with to reorganizing the character roster. Now then, let's get going. Oh my goodness, what have we here? All right, they added new. Whoa, my good God, that's a lot of new Mii suits. I knew they were adding new Mii suits. I didn't realize they were adding this many new Mii suits. Huh, alright, that's cool. And I don't need to have any of the amiibos for this one. I can just, like, pick one. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Okay. So let's see. Let's take a look at these, because I kinda like my classic Toad suit. It's served me very well. And part of the reason I like it is because I actually have well, obviously I have, that's me tapping Toad's head. The only 2 amiibo I have, as you can probably tell, are the Toad amiibo and the Yoshi amiibo, because the Toad amiibo I actually purchased specifically for my Captain Toad Treasure Tracker walkthrough back in 2017, because I wanted to show where you could get all the hidden pixel Toads. And Yoshi, I had the Woolly Yoshi one, just because they came packaged with Yoshi's Woolly World, which I still haven't played. But I've gotten more mileage out of the Yoshi amiibo than I have the game itself. So there's that, I suppose. Do I want to wear any of these, or do I want to stick with the good old classic? Let's put on... The Dolphin suit looks cool, but the Moo Moo suit looks funny, so we're gonna... but see now I'm torn, because, like, do I use my Mii with the funny cow costume, or do I'm not using Peachette. Peachette's weird. Peachette's the only one I would have been actually fine with being a palette swap, because, like, we have Pink Gold Peach, and then we have Cat Peach, and then we have regular. Do we need this many peaches? Whatever, it's fine. It's okay. It's alright. Maybe that's what they should have done. Maybe they should have just put. That would have solved your problem. Put all the goddamn peaches under the same thing, because then that frees up 2 additional slots, which you could have then given to the 2 other characters. You could have done that. Fucking Pink Gold Peach. Whatever, it's fine. It's okay. It's alright. I love Pink Gold Peach. She's my favorite character. Anyway, I think I'll use... I guess I'll start using Funky Kong, because everyone loves Funky Kong. And then I'll probably use the new Mii costume for the second one. Just because it'll be the last one we do for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, possibly ever. So I figure it'll make sense to have my old Mii be the one that we close things out with. All right, let's start out with Funky Kong, the one everybody loves, and let's put him in something that fits his person. Let's give him the sports car. Funky Kong in a sports car with gold tires and a gold glider. This is terrible for acceleration, and it's gonna bite me in the ass almost immediately. But I don't care. It looks cool. We're gonna use it. Okay, here we go. 9 minutes in, we're finally gonna actually play. Actually, except no, we're not, because I still have to reveal what the tracks are, because I don't know. Everyone else knows because they watched the trailer, but I always have to go into these things blind, not knowing what we're getting ourselves into. So, in our first cup, which the Acorn Cup, I think, is going to be Rome Avanti from Tor, DK Mountain and Daisy Circuit, huh? Okay, and then Piranha Plant Co. I love Mario Kart Wii. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I do not think I needed to see Daisy Circuit get brought back, and I certainly did not need to see DK Mountain get brought back from Double Dash over Dino Jungle. That is not. I do not. You know, I was really hoping, because I know Dino Jungle didn't make the cut. I was really hoping we would see that, but unfortunately we didn't. Madrid Drive from Mario Kart Tour. Rosalina's Ice World from 3DS. Okay, that's a surprise, actually. I probably would have preferred the Woohoo Island tracks, but I'll take it. I feel like people forgot about Rosalina's Ice World. Bowser's Castle 3, okay. You know, SNES tracks, but the promo image looks cool. And of course, the only track you ever could have closed this out on without getting people angry, Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii. Alright. At a glance, I'm not too thrilled about this track selection, but let's just give it a go. See how it goes. I did that too early. I'm gonna stall out. Oh no! Okay. I thought I hit the button too early there, but I guess I did not. All right. Well, so first things first is I should probably say it's been quite a while since I've played Mario Kart 8. I don't actually remember when the last time I played this game was, so I'm probably gonna be a little rough around the edges. But it's fine. It was a shortcut I could have taken. I even had a mushroom that I could have used to take the shortcut, but I didn't. It's fine. It's okay. I'll have plenty more chances to replay these courses when I do my 150cc and mirror mode runs to get all the triple star rankings. And probably also my 200cc rerun, because I almost never actually get the triple star ranking on my first go around of the tracks. I'll sometimes do pretty well for most of it, and then right at the end I'll blow it at the absolute last possible minute, which is unfortunate. Alright, I got someone with that. Take a red shell, please. This has gone horribly out of control really quickly, and I'm already kind of regretting the low acceleration of this setup. But it looked cool, and that mattered in the startup screen when you actually get to look at the car. In the race itself, when you don't really care about what it looks like and all you care about is how it performs, less important. Oh, okay. That's not how I wanted that to go at all. That is not how I wanted. It's funny. I was about to say, man, looks like we picked up the pace of it. Looks like we're gaining some ground and we're in first place. And then guess what? Guess what happened? We immediately lost first place because I was anticipating the turn being a little bit ahead of where it actually ended up being. So that's not great, but it's okay. Well, I'll settle for second for my first go around with the track. I'll accept second or third. It's not a horrible way to begin the final. Okay, turns early this time. Turn is early this time. Oh, there's the okay. I'll also accept first if you want to get me first. I'll happily accept. Okay, I gotta be honest. By this point, I'm kind of numb to the track changing every single time kind of thing. I guess it's more noticeable for stuff like Peach Gardens, where I know the tracks really well, so flipping it around the last second catches you off guard. But for the tour tracks, where the main gimmick seems to be the track is different every time, it took me by surprise for like the first couple ones in the first wave. By now, it's just like, it's another city with more turns and more differences between the tracks. So this one didn't wow me so far, but now let's go to DK Mountain. By the way, I like DK Mountain, and I also, right now, I do like, so far this is the best DK Mountain's ever looked, like, because it's something I'm not a fan of how it looks aesthetically on either Double Dash or Mario Kart Wii. It kind of looks, I don't know if muted is the right word to use in terms of the color palette, but this looks a lot more vibrant. Like, I like the colors and the atmosphere of this a lot more than I do how it appears on Double Dash and Mario Kart Wii. So it's not to say that they've done a poor job here. I'm happy with what I've seen so far from this. But like, I'm just thinking Down and Jungle. I'm just thinking of what might have been, what we could have had and then didn't. And I also like the bridge, the rickety bridge at the end. I have many memories of friends and family falling off that bridge at the absolute last possible second, and I tried to slow down just enough for the blue shell to take out somebody else along the way, but my plans were foiled. My timing was just a little bit. If I was just a little bit slower with my slamming of the brakes, I would have got it. It's really satisfying whenever you can do that, whenever you can time it just perfectly enough to where you can catch someone off guard and slam them, hit them with your same blue shell. Because I've done that before several times. It's great every time when it happens, but you gotta be perfect. But the thing I like to do more, also, is this a shortcut that I can take, or is this gonna, the coins were deception. The coins were trick. I thought because the coins were guiding me off the ledge and that it was a break in the fence, that it might have been telling me, hey, there's a shortcut here. You should take the shortcut. Turns out it was not a shortcut. It was, well, I mean, I guess it was a shortcut to death, but it wasn't a shortcut that was actually going to help me in any discernible way. But anyway, what I was saying, it's actually, I find it more satisfying whenever, is that another, god damn it. Okay, I think, okay, that one worked. Hey, look at that, that one worked. That's what I wanted to do the first time. Of course, I probably could have also just kept going, and I could have reached the glide panel and boosted away from the spiny shell before it got the chance to hit me, and I would have been fine as well. But I didn't want to take the chance. I was more confident in my abilities to slow down and hit someone else with a blue shell than I was in my abilities to go fast enough to actually escape the blue shell through my sheer speed and the glider. But it all worked out in the end. Of course, let's not screw up the final bridge, and we're good, we're good. Okay. So yeah, I thought that'd be a shortcut, but it wasn't. But I find it more satisfying whenever you can, the blue shell's coming, you hit the brakes, and then the person in second passes you, and then they take the blue shell all to themselves. I like doing that more, but it's also nice to catch a big group explosion with the blue shell. Conclusion of DK Mountain. I like it. Oh, bumped the microphone. I like the color palette, very vibrant, much more aesthetically pleasing than the other versions of it. I just wish this wasn't the GameCube track that we got for the final wave. And on that same note, Daisy Circuit. I also have never liked how Daisy Circuit looks on Mario Kart Wii. I hate the yellow hue that is coated, the entire level is just coated in this ugly yellow hue. And it's also like a yellowish orange thing here too. But I don't know, it just doesn't look as mustardy. I don't know what the right word is. Mustardy probably isn't the right word, but it just doesn't. Like, the skybox here in the sunset looks like a much more natural sunset. It looks prettier than the just kind of drab yellow hue that the main game has. I don't know. But again, I still would not have preferred Daisy. I don't know. I mean, if I was given the choice of another Wii track to put in its place, I would have put Toad Factory in its place, but I also wouldn't necessarily have wanted another. I'm happy with all the other Wii tracks we've gotten so far. I didn't really need another. I would have happily sacrificed this slot to give 2 GameCube tracks, to give an opportunity for another GameCube track to get in, and by another GameCube track, I mean Dino Jungle. No, I'm not getting over that at any point. I wanted Dino Jungle, and I didn't get it, and I'm still mad about it. It's just, it was such a. I know that I can probably express how much I loved that track, how cool it was, how much it took me, how much it absolutely captivated me when I played through Double Dash, and how eternally sad I am that we may never get it. Or, I mean, we'll probably get it in the next game, but we're probably also not getting it in this one, which is unfortunate. Now, as for the Woohoo Island tracks, I would also have happily sacrificed this track to get a Woohoo Island track in here. I like both the Woohoo Island Loop and Maka Woohoo from 3DS. Either of those. I don't know if there's, like, something, I guess contractually isn't the right word because Nintendo owns it, but if there's some reason why they can't use anything from Wii Sports Resort in this game, I don't know why that would be the case, but it's the only reason I can think of for why they would have gone with, Rock Mountain over the, like, I like Rock Mountain, but was it more worthy to bring that to the game over the Woohoo Island tracks? I'm not so sure about that one. Oh, and Toad Circuit as well. Toad Circuit is like, I like Toad Circuit, but not that much. Now this one looks pretty cool so far. Wasn't big on the first tour track that we saw, but this one aesthetically was like, okay, this, you've already captured my interest. They definitely, Nintendo definitely heard people complaining about the graphics of the first wave or two. Mainly just wave 1, but wave 2 also had a fair bit of people saying like, this one's not really up to snuff with the base game track. So by this point, I don't want to. Yep, that is a thing that I just did. Maybe to say that it's on par with the. No, you know, I think I'm willing to say it. I'd say that by this point, the DLC tracks they've added, specifically this one, would be on par with the tracks that were added into that were introduced in the base game. You can't really say that with stuff like Sky Garden and Shroom Ridge. You really can't say that for Shroom Ridge. I feel like Shroom Ridge is the one I would point to as like the clearest example of you could have used an extra polish here with the grass textures and stuff like that. But by this point, we have just new directions for things. We have completely blown past any preconceptions that we've had. I guess I should also clarify the thing I said about the tour tracks earlier. Stuff like Vancouver Velocity and Singapore Speedway did really cool things with the extra laps that would change directions. I don't know, I guess it just felt like the first one in this cup didn't really do anything that unique or interesting with the multi... Right, new direction, of course, I forget. With the multi-directional laps compared to stuff from the past, it felt fairly by the books. And for the most part, it felt like the alterations that they were making to the track each lap were minor in the grand scheme of things, whereas this, like this feels much more radically distinct than the first one was, which is nice. Even if we are just racing around the same track in different directions, sometimes the environments and the angles in which you see things and the creatures and enemies and background objects you see along the way do a better job of making it feel more visually distinct compared to the first track. Also, I'm a sucker for underwater stuff. I love beach environments, and while this isn't technically a beach environment, well, I guess it's a little bit, some sections feel like it could be a beach at night, but the idea of the cove underwater is always a great way to pique my interest whenever you have something that's under the sea like this. Okay, my overall verdict is I wish the track selection was better for the Acorn Cup, but what they did with the tracks that they did choose is really good. Except for the first, I can't even remember, like I've actually already forgotten the name of the first track because it just left no impact on me whatsoever. But the rest of it was pretty good. All right, now it's time to bring out Mr. Moo, man. This is the Moo magic with the Moo costume. What better way to finish than with the fucking cow? Okay, I do want to play Diddy Kong. There is a temptation there. I want to play as Pauline. I don't need to play as Peach yet. But it's the cow. Like, I can't not pick the cow. It's like, look at it. It's so goofy. Okay, so this was cool for Funky Kong. We need a bit of a better option here. Something that's more. Something that gives me more acceleration, preferably. Let's... Wild Wiggler, Teddy Buggy. These are more my style. I probably should have looked up what I used for the first wave, so that I can bring it fully full. Actually, let me just do that. There's no reason why I can't do that right now. Alright, so the thing we used for the first wave was the Teddy Buggy, which that part I knew. I just didn't know the tires and the glider. The gold tires and the Bowser Kite. So, let's bring it full circle and finish this game the way we started it in the Spiny Cup with Madrid Drive, Rosalina's Ice World, Bowser Castle 3, and Wii Rainbow Road. Here we go. Alright, the last that Tour has to offer. I would like to say that playing the Tour tracks in 8 Deluxe has made me want to check out Tour, because I've been generally impressed. There's been a couple Tour tracks like the one we just played where I'm like, I'm not really wowed by this. But for the most part, I've all been, it's a tight turn! It's a giant wiggler in the middle of town, okay. Been generally impressed with what I've seen come out of Tour. However, it's the thing with Tour that really made me not want to check it out wasn't so much to the track selection, it was just that when I played it, it didn't feel good to control, so I wasn't really interested in play. I played it for like 5 minutes, and I think I might have tried, I tried to play Tour again when I did my big Mario Kart arc last year, because since I figured, well, it's another Mario Kart game, I may as well give it a shot, and I tried, I don't know, there was something about it, maybe it wasn't the controls, but there was something about it that for some reason I couldn't get to work properly, maybe for the sake of recording. I don't actually remember what the issue was, but there was something about it where I'm like, this isn't going to work, so I didn't do it. Which is a shame, because the tracks I've seen from it, and the music I've heard from it have been great, and already this has way more flair and style than the one we played originally, especially in regards to how the courses changed up every time, from going through that tunnel, we went from almost like a museum where we went past by the giant piranha plant, and then the second time around we passed over the geyser. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. And also, obviously, Vancouver Velocity and Singapore Speedway are the two go-to examples for changing the track every lap and being interesting. And then now we're going to a stadium. Okay, yep, and this is also what I'm talking about. Now we went from a museum to a geyser showcase to a stadium where people are kicking soccer balls around. That's what I want to see out of a track like this, where you can change it because I think the idea originally, and what appealed to me with the first time I saw it was, hey, you're going around the track in different directions. That's kind of cool. You're going against the flow of traffic this time. And that's cool once. Not cool every single time. What I prefer with this style is being taken to new locations and seeing cool things each lap, as opposed to strictly just, oh, now you're going backwards to the way you went forwards originally. Isn't that neat? It's like, okay, yeah, maybe once. The second, third time, not so much. Anyway, on we go. Oh, I like Rosalina's Ice World. I just didn't think I'd ever see it again. I thought this is just the track that everyone fucking forgot about, but oh my god, camera, how about we don't? Can we, okay. Almost fell, ay. Alright, not a great start here. Not a great start. I mean, it's cool, it's fun, like the half pipes and the anti-grav, and now we're going under the water. I'm just kind of still surprised this is the one that they decided to break. I'm still just thinking of Woohoo Island. Maybe I'm like the only one that's actually has, because I played Wii Sports Resort a lot as a kid, like a lot. Maybe more so than the, okay, maybe, I probably have played it more than the original Wii Sports, just because there's more to do in it. I probably have logically sunk more time into it than I did the original Wii Sports, which is not to diminish the role that Wii Sports has had in my life. It's one of the first major video games I've ever played, and for that it will always have my respect. And even just hearing the main menu music is just an instant burst of nostalgia, and it's part of why Nintendo Switch Sports is sort of disappointing. I mean, it's fun, but it's just like, is it $40 fun? And when it doesn't launch with golf, probably not. But I probably sunk more time in Wii Sports Resort, and I remember just would endlessly just for fun, just do island flyover mode, fly around the island, search for all the eye points, and I didn't even know that you got rewards for doing that originally. I was just flying around the island for fun, just because I wanted to see everything. I wanted to see how much I could push the boundaries of the game by flying inside the volcano and then cutting the engines at the last second and pulling up, flying inside the caves, which are sections that clearly don't seem like they're designed for planes to be able to fit there, and yet there's eye points in there anyway, which can only be obtained by a plane. So yeah, I love that. I love doing it. And then once I realized I was getting rewards from it, I'm like, oh, I can actually get stuff for doing this other than just fun and satisfaction in playing it. That's awesome. And okay, well, there goes the triple star. There was a chance of getting it before. Now it's done. Now we're back in third, or maybe we're back in first, actually. I probably should have taken the shortcut there, but I didn't want to risk falling off and costing first place, so I guess that worked out. But, I don't know. Point being of that little rant, maybe I'm the only person that actually has a lot of nostalgia for Woohoo Island. That's why I love those tracks so much, but I don't know. Again, this track's very fun. I love second to beach environments for me is snow environments for just aesthetics that I absolutely adore. So I guess I can't complain that we got this. Very, very pretty, very well adapted. Love the anti-grav half pipes. But just okay, I'm gonna shut up about Woohoo Island. You're probably sick of hearing me say, but it's not Woohoo Island, so I'm not gonna say it anymore. I'm just gonna say, look at the skybox. The skybox is gorgeous. The snow is gorgeous. It feels like we're back in main game territory for visual fidelity as opposed to what Wave 1 and 2 offered. And I wasn't even mad about that. I was more than happy to go with, because like I said, when you're blitzing by the tracks as fast as you are, you don't really notice that the textures aren't as polished as they could be. It's only when you slow down and actually break and look at it for screenshots and you're like, this ain't looking too hot. But in the heat of the moment, you don't really see that, so. But I am glad they took the time to actually improve graphics for future ways, so really, really cool to see. This might be one of the best improvements so far, and I haven't even started really playing it yet, but just, oh my dear god, okay, yeah, this is, so, because the SNES is so, well, now I'll say it, because Super Mario Kart sucks so much ass, and because, well, I guess I can't say that, I mean, Super Mario Kart does suck, let's be clear, but part of it isn't necessarily because the track layout is so limited, it's just because the controls suck, so, but because the original game was so limited technically for what it can do for 3D racing around the environments, and it's all a very flat layout, anytime you see those tracks get radically altered in such a way like this, where it's, oh no, barely recognizable as an NES track anymore, and you got all these layers, and there's elevation, and there's so much background scenery with lava geysers and flops in the castle in the background, and it feels like a main levels where, if you told me this is an SNES, it was originally a Super Mario Kart level, I'd have been like, you're insane, you're lying to me, there's no way this was originally from that terrible fucking game, but no, it's, it looks gorgeous now, and the volcano in the background, it's like a completely, because for SNES Rainbow Road, while I do like how fast you can zip around the track on 200cc, and it's a very satisfying course to speed through, it still feels like an SNES track. And even Donut Plains 3, they did a good job of adding a lot of life to it and making it feel more vibrant. It still has the general flat layout of an SNES track, but this, I can't say that at all for this one. Oh, and of course Mario Circuit 3. That was such a weird, what was it, 3 or 2? I don't know. One of the Mario Circuits got brought to the Booster course, whatever, you know what I mean. And that was a really weird choice. So like, of all the tracks you can bring back, you choose that one. Really? Is that really what we're going with? And it feels like it came from the game that it did. I can't say that for this one at all. This one, I kind of expected, like I said, even just looking at the thumbnail art of this one on the main screen, it looks like it was going to blow me away, and lo and behold, it sure indeed did blow me away. I didn't even see that there were the piranha plants back there were dry piranha plants, like skeletons, not regular ones. That's another awesome detail. Alright, and now we arrive at the grand finale of the Booster Course Pass. Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road. It already looks amazing. Just out of the gate, this already looks absolutely stellar. And yeah, it's no secret that I have a very, very strong soft spot for Mario Kart Wii, just because it was my first, it was my introduction to the series, and I love a lot of, I love, oh, okay, well, that's how that happened. I love basically all the tracks from, well, most of the tracks from it. And, oh, I hadn't thought about this turn, oh my god. I did not think about that turn. That turn screws me up on 150cc in the main game. On 200cc, I did not prepare myself for how fast I was gonna fling around that corner on 200cc. But yeah, this is just everything I could have expected. The star bits, the planet below, oh, and the enhanced tunnel graphics. Ah, it's glorious. And really, like, everyone had been saying that this was the way they needed to end it, and even though I didn't know in advance that this was gonna be the final track, it's like, you kind of knew anyway. It would be the biggest blunder of all time if this wasn't the one. Because, like, everyone would have been pissed. I guess some people who don't like Mario Kart Wii, but most people would have been pissed if this wasn't the grand finale. Because it just feels fitting that Wii Rainbow Road would be the one to close out the Booster Course Pass, and I'm very, very happy that it is. It's just about looks as pretty as I would have expected it to. I was already happy with how I live. I didn't think I was gonna live, but I did, surprisingly. Yeah, I already liked what they did with 3DS Rainbow Road, and that I didn't have the same, even though I love Mario Kart 7, I didn't have the same attachment to it that I do for Rainbow Road for Mario Kart Wii. And I was already happy with that. Now seeing a track, there was one of two ways. It was either going to be that I was going to hate it because I didn't like how they adapted. Because Wii Rainbow Road is one of those tracks that I just wouldn't change anything about. I love it. It's perfect the way that it is. So there was a chance it could have been like, you ruined this, why did you do that? Or I would have absolutely adored it, seeing it brought to HD in 8 Deluxe. And it seems like we've gone with the latter here. And I am on 200cc, right? Because I feel like the game's been going way too easy on me for these last two cups. I almost, of course, let me not talk now and ruin it right at the last possible second. Let me actually cross the finish line, and then we'll brag about how the game took it. Yep, that's what I was expecting. Okay, please, let's not blow it this late in the, no, I shouldn't have opened my mouth because they're gonna, oh, or I'm gonna pull a Hail Mary green shell toss at the absolute last possible second and somehow win anyway. It was about to be the classic jinx where I say the thing and then the thing happens and I fall right off the edge. But then the stars aligned again and he drove right in front of where the green shell was going. Holy shit. Okay, I am honestly really happy with that. I would have been annoyed, but I would have expected for me not to finish in first place and get a triple star ranking. Because for all the other ones, I've had to go back and do. I think for all the other ones, I've had to go back and redo at least one of the cups to get a triple star ranking. This time, I don't have to. I've cleared it out of the gate, and I just have to worry about going back to do 150cc and mirror. The 200cc is clear. It's done. The booster course pass is cleared on 200cc. And man, I am so happy this game got the DLC that it did. Bump the mic again. Oh, that's cool. New credit sequence, I assume. I mean, I don't see any. Yeah, they are. New credit sequence for the booster course. But that is awesome. Okay, bravo. There's the stupid Mario. I was just talking about that shitty course. The stupid Mario circuit that they brought into this game for no goddamn reason. Okay. I am bravo to everyone who brought the booster course pass to life. It made me so happy to see courses, first of all, because the thing is, while of course it was great to see all the courses that I recognized from the games that I played last year and the games I've been playing since I was a kid brought back in HD to this game, that's awesome. but most of the, or at least a good chunk of the Booster Course Pass was the tour courses. And I know a lot of people were saying they didn't like that, because most people don't like Mario Kart Tour, which is understandable. But for me, it wasn't really a case of, oh no, not Mario Kart Tour. It was a case of, oh, I've never played Mario Kart Tour, so it's basically like I'm getting brand new courses for the first time ever. And that is awesome. Like, Ninja Hideaway, that, I'm pretty sure that was, well, I thought that was a new course at first because the game was sneaky and it didn't tell me that it was a tour course, because it didn't say that it was, but it was. But I loved most of the tour courses. There were a couple stinkers here and there, but for the most part, I loved a lot of the ones that I played. So I didn't really take issue with that. But there was definitely a case of some interesting track selections. Like, I'm not a fan of the fact that they brought Daisy Circuit in here. I feel like that was a waste. They did good with what they had, but I feel like it was still a waste. DK Mountain over Down Jungle was the greatest sin in Mario Kart history. Toad Circuit? Who asked for Toad Circuit? Who asked for the Mario Circuit from one of the recent waves? I don't remember which one it was. But there was one wave in particular where a Mario Circuit got brought. It was the one where you go through the forest. And everyone was like, you brought back Mario Circuit? Why'd you do that? That's just dumb. You wasted it. And then, of course, there's Mario Circuit. And there's a couple times when you're like, were there really no better tracks you could pick? And I guess maybe they're trying to save some of the better ones for Mario Kart 9. Assuming Mario Kart 9 is going to be a thing, which I'd be surprised if it wasn't for the next console launch. Unless they just make Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Ultimate Edition, which now has everything, and also there's more DLC, but I don't know. I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Kart 8 sure is a game that just keeps on giving, isn't it? Yeah, so there was certainly some questionable track choices, and at the start they didn't do that great with the graphics. But they picked up the pace. They really took that criticism to heart and rounded out the visuals for future waves. And overall, I am satisfied with the track selections. I loved the new tracks. I loved getting to see tracks from my childhood get brought back again, and even tracks that aren't from my childhood, like the Bowser Castle that we just played today, that were just basically like a brand new track because it's unrecognizable from how it was originally. Yeah, I have nothing to complain about here, really. Except, I guess, I mean, you just make Peach at a palette swap. You could have. You didn't need to rearrange the whole thing. I mean, it makes sense to make it so that the villagers are the same thing and the Inklings are the same. They're just palette swaps. That makes sense. But it also would have made sense to make Peach at a palette swap and maybe also all the other Peaches about a palette swap. Really, the only major thing I can think of that they're probably never going to fix is the fact that you brought Sunset Wilds into the game and you didn't have the key thing Sunset Wilds is known for, which is the fact that it has a day-night cycle. It's why it's called Sunset Wild. It's to the point where it actually, like, made me doubt my memory. Like, I was playing it, and I'm like, I think this is the one I played that had a day-night cycle, but there is no day-night cycle, so I don't know anymore. I didn't want to definitively say, like, they screwed up this track. They forgot to bring the day-night cycle, and then be wrong, so I just assumed that I had misremembered, that I had forgotten something, and it was a different track. But no, my memory was exactly on point. They just didn't, because of the way the lighting engine works, they just didn't incorporate the main thing that track is known for, which you may say, okay, they couldn't because the engine's not built for it, which I say, okay, then why did you bring it into the game in the first place if you knew you couldn't do it? Anyway, that's awesome. I love that. I love they got a new credit sequence specifically for the Booster Course Pass. That is very, very cool. And thank you, thank you, Nintendo. Everyone who worked on this, who worked to polish up the game, bring new characters, bring new tracks. Thank you all for giving us more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to play. Like I said, I thought the more likely scenario was we were just going to go straight into Mario Kart 9, and we wouldn't get any more DLC for this. But man, was I happy to be proven wrong. I'm happy that my throwaway comment in a random Mario Kart 64 LP episode at the start of last year wound up accidentally predicting the massive DLC drop that we ended up getting for this game. So, thanks for watching. If you've been watching this since I started this LP back in July of 2021, or if you only started watching recently with the Booster Course Pass, or even just today, thanks for sticking around, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching these videos. Hopefully you've enjoyed playing the Booster Course Pass as much as I have. It's gonna be sad to see it go. Sad to say farewell to what's probably gonna be the last major update for this game. But you never know. Nintendo could surprise us again in the future. There's always that possibility, but I don't wanna bank on that. I think it's probably safer to bet that this is gonna be the end of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for real this time, and then the next thing we'll see will be the next big Mario Kart game for a new console. But who's to say? There's no way to know for sure. What I do know is that this is a blast. I'm so happy they updated this game with more tracks. It's as someone who's been there since the early days of Mario Kart 8 and seeing what it used to be and what it's become. I'm so happy to have watched it grow steadily over the years into the powerhouse that it is today. And I'm just happy that it's going to stick around. That I'll always keep coming back to. Even when the new game inevitably comes out, I'll always keep coming back to this game. The same way I always keep coming back to Mario Kart Wii. So thank you all. So, oh, actually, wait. I should probably give a final ranking of the tracks. Or, not the tracks, God, no. Of the courses. That's the same thing twice. The waves. I need to rank the damn waves. Can I speak properly? God damn it. Let's take a look back at the journey we've been on. From the days of Toad Circuit and Choco Mountain to Rosalina's Ice World and Wii Rainbow Road to close this out. So, the first one was definitely, I mean, Paris Promenade was a good introduction to the idea of the tour courses. And of course, Coconut Mall is a classic. I like Shroom Ridge from gameplay-wise because it was fun to zip around those corners at 200cc. Ninja Hideaway blew me away, and Sky Garden didn't piss me off the same way it pissed off a lot of people because I didn't, like, grow up with Super Circuit, and I didn't even really remember that Sky Garden had been changed so significantly, so I still liked it, but it is still in last place of all of them. 2 is a definitive improvement, and of course I say that looking at stupid Mario Circuit 3. Why are you there? I don't understand your thought process. But the Kalimari Desert Train and the bridge they took over that, the Waluigi Pinball is a classic. New York Minute was really fun. Love Sydney Sprint, love Snowland. Mushroom Gorge, Sky High Sunday was great. I mean, I like Rock Mountain, but not enough over some of the other 3DS choices you could have gone with. I love what they did to Boo Lake. Love Maple Tree Way. Of course, the end of Wave 3 is what gave us Peach Gardens, which just completely knocked my socks off. Merry Mountain was very thematically appropriate for the time it came out. And 3DS Rainbow Road, like I said, just, oh, amazing. And yeah, so the first 3 waves got better and better as they went, so it was 3, 2, 1. Wave 4 took a bit of a backseat because you have Bangkok Rush and Mario Circuit, which didn't impress me. Mario Circuit and Mario Circuit, sorry, Mario, yeah, it's both the Mario Circuits. Mario Circuit 3 for SNES and Mario Circuit for DS. It just doesn't click with me what you were thinking there, which is a shame because I love DK Summit, Yoshi's Island. Riverside Park was short. It was a short, compact, very neat little track, and Singapore Speedway obviously was amazing. So I think it was 3, 4, 2, 1, and then we got Wave 5, which gave us a phenomenal Feather Cup and a sort of middling Cherry Cup, with Sunset Wilds being the massive blunder that it was, and then Koopa Cape, which was somewhat disappointing. But you got Los Angeles Slaps, love me some beach environments. Vancouver Velocity is one of my favorites of the Booster Course Pass. They made Moonview Highway not terrible, which is somehow, I don't know how they did that. Athens Dash, I love the verticality of that one. Daisy Cruisers, was really hoping they bring that one back. They made a bathroom track fun somehow. So I think my ranking previously was 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. Where does Wave 6 sit in? I can't say it's near it's kind of the opposite problem where you have the first cup, which is like, alright. And then you have the Spiny Cup, which gives you all this incredible stuff. Madrid Drive, Rosalina's Ice World, also has to Rainbow Road. So I think it actually probably balanced out to around the same as Wave 5, just for opposite reasons. Maybe a little below. I think it's, then there's Wave 4. It's so hard to rank them because I really do love them all. Like, for as much as I may complain about Sunset Wilds or Mario Circuit 3, or stuff like that, I really have loved playing through all of these, so it's like the difference in ranking is very minute, but it is still there. I guess if I had to, it would probably be like 3, 5, 6, and 4 can go either way, and then 2, 1. is my general order for how this has been, but I have loved every second of this, through all the highs and all the lows. I'm so happy that this game kept going on. I'm happy that I got the chance to play it. I'm happy you all decided to stick around and join me for this adventure. And yeah, I guess let me know how you would rank the courses, or not I keep saying the waves. Rank the waves. Let me know what you thought, what your favorites, what your standout highlight track was, what the one you thought was most disappointing. And I guess also what your thoughts are on the potential possibilities of whether they're going to continue with DLC for this, or whether they're going to just jump straight into Mario Kart 9. It's probably going to be the latter, but interested in seeing what you think is most likely for the future. But yeah, that'll be for now. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and hope to see you all soon for whatever it is you decide to watch next. Goodbye!